A relationship is supposed to be about two people working together, but if you've ever felt like you're alone in that relationship, you are actually not alone.
Studio 5 relationship coach Matt Townsend is here with advice on dealing with a one-sided marriage. You say this really is one of the most common complaints you get from people.
Yeah. They're all like, where's my husband? When's he going to get involved in this relationship, you know? It's common. And in fact, I think we all take turns. It's not like the men are always out and the women are always in. You know, there might be a year where the woman just is too tired, or the man is too tired. The hard part is we got to get them all on the same page at the same time.
So the person that feels alone, they feel like we're not going to go anywhere if the other person isn't going to check in, but can you make improvements?
Everyone thinks that we both have to be there to make it work. But the reality is it really only takes one of us to mess it up, right? And so if it only takes one to mess it up, it might only take one to actually make it better.
Are you seriously that one person, if they feel like they're giving all, they can make the changes to right the wrong, get the ship going again?
They can make the changes to begin to create conditions where the other might change. See,
that's empowering. That's empowering to know.
Well, I want people to know that, because otherwise you're sitting there waiting for someone else to change. And sometimes that person that's not changing, they don't even know they need to change. They don't even know there's a change necessary or that they're possible or capable of making the change. So that's what we're going to talk about. 5 keys, okay? You ready? First key is you got to frame the problem as relationally challenged, not a personal rejection.
As it feels like personal rejection when somebody isn't paying attention to you or they just don't care, it seems like.
But see, what I find is so many of the times people just don't know that that's what you actually need. Like, he doesn't need it, so why would you need it? Why would, if he doesn't need to talk every day after work for hours to you, why would you need that? So part of it is just some people are just relationally challenged. So if you start to see that our marriage has a relational challenge, instead of I've got he's rejecting me personally, the minute you take it personal, we're in a big problem, because you're going to be offended, you're going to start to withdraw, you're going to start to do a bunch of other patterns. Instead, hold it up that we have a relational challenge here, okay? The second key is most important, though, right? Check this out. Don't ever follow the lead of the most relationally challenged partner.
So the person who's like not bringing their share, don't let them dictate things.
Don't let them dictate things, and don't start reacting to the challenged person. If the person withdraws and doesn't talk, don't you withdraw and not talk. Otherwise, you're becoming relationally challenged. We don't follow the lead of the weakest person. You know what I mean? That's why we don't let our kids
react. It is.
That's the key, though. That's the key, Tanya, is we're reacting. Instead of making the choice that I'm going to proactively choose to lead this relationship, meaning I'm still going to model healthy relationships even when I have a partner that doesn't get it. That should be the most empowering thing, is I don't have to become challenged just because you are. And I'm not going to become worse and worse every step along the way just because you do. That's why we don't let our littlest, tiniest toddlers walk us to our car when we're at the mall, right? We lead the way to the car. We don't just follow them and act amazed when we're not at our car, but we're like 5 blocks away.
So, but here's the problem, because if I feel like I'm giving and the other person is not giving, and now you're telling me that I can't let them dictate, I need to, it's almost like you're telling me I have to give more, but that isn't what I want to do.
No.
That's my problem, is I feel like I'm already giving.
So then
by the way, I'm not you.
You're talking, you're hypothetically talking about your neighbors, right? I hear that every day, Darren. But see, that's the problem, is we don't give because it's good for us. We give because it's right. I give in my relationship because I made a promise to give without exception. I don't give just when you give. I give because it's right. That's called being principled. That's having character. Long-term relationships demand that you keep living your values regardless of what's going on with the person around you.
It's a challenge, but I think even knowing that you can do that probably will empower somebody.
Then, to lead this, eventually you got to sit your partner down and you got to say, you know what, I'm not happy. I'm dying here. I need more from this relationship, and I'm not sure why you're not giving it. I'm not sure if you don't know how, if you don't want to, if you hate me. I'm not sure, but here's what I need. And then tell them exactly the changes you need. Be very direct, very specific. Give them a timeline. Give them the results you need and the changes specifically you want to see. Honey, I don't feel like we ever connect and communicate. And I really feel like we need to communicate regularly right when I get home from work and spend some time talking. And I'd like to start working on it, because if not, I'm starting to worry about our ability to make this thing last.
So when you say be direct, I worry about the tone. Like, what does the tone need to be going
Don't be a nag. Don't be a whine. Just sit there and say, babe, I love you so much. I'm concerned we're not connecting. And connecting for me means this, 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 and this. And I'm not sure why you don't do it. I'm not assuming it's because you hate me. I just think you don't know I need it, and I want to be very clear that I need it.
Because sometimes husbands and wives are they're whole on different levels there. Because you often say, like, a couple will come in and she says, I'm done, I want a divorce right now. And he's like, I had no idea any of this was coming, right?
70% of the divorces are filed by women, and the men are shocked. Like, it is not that bad.
And it's clearly communicating, so he knows where it is, and he's not blindsided by it.
And so we're going to come straight out and say, this is one-sided, and it's killing me. It's starting to suffocate me. And I know we use languages of we can change this. We can make it better. I want to be with you. I want to make this work, and I want to see some changes soon. So would you be willing to work on it? Now, here's the next deal. Oh, it's so scary. Are you ready for this one? Demand win-win or a no-deal option. Meaning, if we can't make this mutually beneficial, let's agree that we shouldn't do this anymore. Long-term relationships, this is scary.
No, you're laying through exactly.
Watch this. Long-term relationships demand mutual benefit. They demand it. So if I'm not getting benefit with you over a long period of time, I'm going to start opting out of the relationship. So what I'm saying is, let's make it overt that we will always go for win-win. When you buy a car, let's go win-win, or let's agree not to do the deal. When we choose a vacation spot, let's go for win-win, or let's agree not to go. Let's not let people just take a lose, because otherwise it ends up being me win, you lose, or me lose, you win, or lose-lose. The reality is none of us should want to be married to losers, right? So if I don't want to be married to a loser, then I can't let you always take the lose. And if you're in a one-sided relationship, you're always the loser. So what we want to do is introduce the idea in our relationships that we want to go for win-win, or let's not have the deal.
You know, we had that same experience picking out furniture for our porch. My wife really wanted one set, I really wanted another set, and neither one of us wanted a different one. And we finally had to come to the conclusion, until we could find one that we both agreed was win-win.
Let's walk away.
Yeah, we weren't even have any furniture.
You know the power that puts in your relationship? Because then it says we must learn to communicate through these issues, or we're not going to get deals to happen. Let's agree that we're strong enough that I'm not going to let you keep taking the loss. I won't let you take the loss. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to divorce. I'm not saying that. It just means we're either going to make some changes, or we're not going to do the deal the way we're doing it anymore, and we're going to go get help, or we're going to get some support. The last key, though, is get the help and support you need. This is a hard thing. I work a lot with couples that you don't know how to go through this, except I found almost about 80% of the time when I have one woman start my program, 80% of the time the man shows up. And when the man shows up, he starts to learn, and they learn together. If that woman hadn't come and unilaterally made the decision to start the program, he never would have come. So she said, I'm not taking it anymore. I'm going to get help. She went and got the help. He shows up, and boom, we start to learn together. Someone's got to take the step, right? And the first step, I don't care who takes it. It's just who's gonna be the big boy
Speaking
first.
of taking steps and getting help, you got a big date night coming up in St. George.
Yes. We're heading south, kiddos. So if you're down in Washington County, get to this. Friday, July 29th. It's $50 per couple this time because we're offering a killer meal and the entire date night. It's about the 7 basic needs. If you are down anywhere in southern Utah, July 29th, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, go to our website, datenightswithmatt.com, or give us a call, 747-2121, and we'll hook you up. Tons of fun, southern Utah.
I hear his date nights are awesome. My parents went to one.
Your parents? They were out of control.
Oh, they thought you were so funny.
Tanya, I heard more dirt about you.
But better.
Yeah,
okay, we'll have to share during the commercial.
Oh, yeah, I got video.
Oh, really?
It's incredible.
Okay,
You
that
gotta
should be
watch it.
good. That's going to be
Tons of
good.
stuff.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Matt.
Tanya.
We appreciate it.